In this video, I wanted to do a comparison of this Shark vacuum. This is the NV501. This is a comparable canister vacuum to the Dyson Animal 3. They have some different features about them that make one stand out more than the other. But I'm going to go over those features in a minute, just kind of showing what the differences are between these two vacuums. First of all, they're both great vacuums. I believe that the Shark has some more features that the Dyson does not have. So for comparison, you can kind of see that the Shark stands a little bit taller when it's at rest and in storage than the Dyson. The footprint for actual vacuuming a surface is about the same between the two. They're maybe about a foot wide. They are both swivel style as far as turning them when you use them. The Dyson is a little bit easier to break down to be able to start using it. You just really kind of push down on the handle. Versus the Shark, you actually have to use your foot to push down on the bottom to then lower it. It kind of locks up at the top, so it stays up there a little bit easier when it's in the upright position. But they both turn like the swivel style. This is the way that they operate when you're using them to vacuum. They both turn about the same. Ease of use is about the same. You'll notice too that when they're in upright and in storage that this one actually takes a little bit less space. So I've got it up against this wall here, and the Dyson in the front kind of sticks out maybe 3 or 4 inches than the Shark does. Also, this one kind of leans forward. It doesn't actually lean right up against the wall, where the Dyson is more straight up against the wall there. So as far as features go for the brush heads that are actually on the surface, they're basically, like I said, they're basically the same width. The Dyson has an adjustable height setting here for flat for like this tile, a smaller pile carpet, and then a heavy thick carpet. You can make that adjustment right here. There aren't any settings like that on the Shark, but it does have these LED lights. So if you had a dark area and you wanted to shine light on your floor, they come on as well to help you with that. Both canisters are easy to remove. The Dyson has had this simple design for a long time. You just press this button here and you lift it out. And the Shark has these little buttons right up here, one on each side. You kind of lift it up and it pops out to dump out the dirt out of the canister. So as we're talking about filters and canisters, this is the HEPA filter inside here. This just pops right out, and you can probably blow it out with an air tool if you wanted to, but it's easy to replace. It just sits right in there, and you want to make sure that's clean when you're using it. Period. I want to clean that off. Place it back in, just clicks right back in place. As compared to the Dyson, this one's a little bit more complicated. You've got to press this down, open this up, slide this portion down, press this button, and then you can start beginning to take this off and change the filters out. So it's just a little bit more complex, I guess, to be able to maintain this canister. They both have the function of to be able to turn the brush roller on and off. That's right here. There's the power button for the Shark. The power button up here is on the Dyson, and this is the brush roller on and off if you just wanted to have suction come out of the head versus having the brush rolling. There's also an additional filter that's down inside of the ball on the Dyson that needs replaced periodically or at least cleaned out. On both vacuums, there is an additional filter down below. So for both vacuums, there's an additional filter down near the bottom. There's a filter inside of here that can be pulled out and replaced and cleaned out. And then on the Dyson, there is a filter inside the ball here. You just remove this threaded piece of plastic, and then you can change that filter that's inside of there. Both the Dyson Animal 3 and the Shark NV501 have removable wands. This one's a little bit more unique than the Dyson. I'll get to that in a minute, but I want to talk about the attachments. We have your crevice tool that stores right here in the side. So you can use the crevice tool with the brush or slide it up and just use the crevice tool like this without the brush. I believe there's also a way to completely remove it as well. So you don't have to have this brush on here, all with this little switch toggle here that kind of keeps it in place. And then you have this smaller upholstery and carpet tool that comes with the Dyson as well. It's got a little bit of a pad here that kind of scrapes upholstery and gets fur loose and things as you're vacuuming. The Shark also comes with an upholstery tool, and it's quite a bit wider. Although there's no really good way that I could find to store it on the vacuum itself, so you kind of have to store this in a closet, in a drawer, or something off the side when you're not using it. Whereas the Dyson, you get to just keep it right here on the side, so you always know where it's at. Bigger upholstery brush, great. Nowhere to really put it on the vacuum. The Shark does have a crevice tool. It's a standard crevice tool. There's no brush attachment for it. If you want to use the brush, you have to switch out the head entirely. So it's a little bit of a different design. You have to actually switch the two heads if you want to go from a brush tool to a crevice tool. Like I said, both vacuums have a removable wand once you get the cord off. It's a simple turn this knob and remove the cord. The Dyson Animal 3, it's pretty standard on all Dyson. You just lift it out, pulls it like that, and then you add your attachments here, however you want to use it. I've been able to stretch this out into some pretty tall spots to be able to get dust and things out of upper corners. And then it goes right back in here, close this down for storage. The Shark, on the other hand, is quite a bit different. There are different ways to use this handle entirely, so it's got a lot of flexibility here. You can remove this portion out, attach your brush or crevice tool, and just use this separately than the vacuum. It's kind of nice. So you got this stretching hose here to be able to pull that out, to be able to get more of a handheld use. You also have the ability to release the wand with this button here to take the whole wand out, and now you have a longer tool to be able to reach further up, just like the Dyson. Again, you can attach either one of those tools or the carpet or the upholstery one. And now you've got a long handle to be able to reach a lot of different spots without having to necessarily bend over or stretch to get some of those tighter to get spots. Finally, there's one more feature about the handle and the way this operation works that's entirely different than the Dyson, is this lift away feature. You press this down and you can remove the whole canister, leave the brush unit down on the floor, and move this whole vacuum system and just take it with you, as long as you're not going too far for wherever your cord's attached. It's a bit heavy to do this, but it's not crazy. It's not super heavy, almost like maybe a vacuum I might use in your car. So you can actually take this and move it around a lot easier without having the brush tool on, which is kind of nice. If you take the wand off and remove the wand off of the handle, you actually have a quite lightweight system here where you can kind of take this anywhere and vacuum. It's really nice. Then one key feature that I'd like to talk about that the Dyson doesn't have at all is this adjustment for the amount of suction. It all goes back together really easily. The canister itself is actually easy to dump and it's easy to clean out. There's two buttons, the top and the bottom here. This lower one lets you just dump the canister into a garbage can. The upper one allows you to remove this and get to this cone filter here, so you can wipe this all out. There's some spots in here that are a little bit of a challenge to get clean because they're kind of tight in there. But otherwise, it's just easy to, you can almost just rinse this thing out in the kitchen sink and get it all the way clean. Spray it out, wipe it out, and it's really easy to do. Whereas, like I said earlier, the Dyson's a little bit more complicated. The buttons and the components seem more finicky to mess with than this. This is just kind of simpler. But again, you could take the filters off and clean this out just as easily. So what you probably want to know from a comparison perspective is which vacuum does a better job at picking up dirt. I've got a test prepared here to highlight just that, but one thing I wanted to talk about too when the vacuum is running is this vacuum here, the Shark, when it's running and the brush is moving, has kind of a pulling effect that does make it a little bit easier to vacuum because the brush wants to kind of pull the vacuum forward. The Dyson doesn't have that as much, maybe a little bit, but nowhere near the speed at which this vacuum wants to pull the vacuum forward, and then you have to pull it back against it. The vacuum is more of a you drive it, you push it kind of vacuum scenario. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up these vacuums. It's going to get loud. We'll have a pretty good test. There's about the same amount of dirt between these two. This rug is not very tall. It's a kind of a low pile rug on top of some tile. And I've got the Dyson set on the medium setting, not the floor and not the high. So in the end, I think they both did a really good job cleaning that dirt up. Shark felt a little bit loose, where the Dyson, I think it just rides a little bit closer to whatever surface it's on. And so it felt like it was doing a much more thorough job cleaning, but I only ran it maybe 3 passes and it got it all up. This one, I felt like I had to do maybe 1 more pass. And that could have just been because of my perception of where the brushes were. There's kind of a line here that gets created because there's no brushes. And these 2 sections of the brush hole, there's missing brushes. So you kind of have to go over it a couple times. Whereas the Dyson has this kind of swirled brush that rotates continuously and it cleans the entire surface as it goes across. So I would say this Shark maybe takes an extra swipe or 2 wherever area you're cleaning, which you might do anyway, but really have to think about maybe what the features are that you like between the two. This is very simplistic in design, like Dyson's products always have been. The Shark has a little bit more configuration options, so if that's really what you're looking for, is a vacuum that you can take that wand all apart and move it around, remove the canister, be more flexible about moving it versus just having mainly a floor vacuum with an attachment. That's probably the decision you're looking at here because they both clean really well. I would say that the Shark is more feature rich, meaning there's a lot of different ways you can configure it. You can change that suction. I just kept it on medium for the experiment. So maybe if I had put it on max, maybe it would have done a little bit better. But again, I think it comes down to that brush design that made me feel like I had to go over it 1 more time. The lights were kind of nice so I could see it. And the Dyson doesn't have lights on the brush. So that's a little bit different. Maybe that was a little bit helpful. Or if the places you're vacuuming are a little bit darker and you can't see, maybe the LED lights are helpful. They're both awesome vacuums. Dyson is tried and true. Shark has a lot of vacuums that you can choose from. We have a family friend that runs an at-home cleaning business. She swears by Shark vacuums. Hands down, she would choose a vacuum over Dyson any day of the week. Both great vacuums. Shark very feature rich. Dyson tried and true. Awesome vacuums.